Welcome to Monday Night Live, the weekly training that guides professionals to financial prosperity. Join our community and let's start building your wealth.
Let's go ahead and get started here. It's 7:05. So guys, we're gonna get started. You probably have seen it, some of the stuff that we put out, Sugar puts out on social media announcing Debbi DiMaggio tonight. And I'm gonna let her I don't want to spoil all the goodies for you, but I just want to tell you, when I first met her doing the podcast interview, she had responded to us reaching out, looking for what we call industry leaders. And when we've started the interview, even before we started the podcast, it was like I knew right away. So I wanted her to teach class one night. So she's definitely cut from the same cloth, guys. I mean, high-minded, coming from contribution and collaboration, which has been part of my entire career. Started out collaborating with agents and different brokerages for the common purposes of serving investors, and we just cornered the market. It was just an amazing thing, and it kind of pushes through, goes around over under the barriers that are naturally put in our way out there sometimes. But Deb does the same thing, and she's got one book in publication, another one very close. So in any case, Deb, if you don't mind, I want to have you share with you your background first. I'll never do as good a job as you will,
Oh,
and
stop.
tell them. I won't spoil the beans, but there's one nice little golden nugget I asked you about. Um, one of your relatives, one of your cousins.
Oh,
Hopefully that.
okay.
Yeah,
I was like, what nugget was that?
yeah. We're one over the million. So, guys, if you can give Debbie a big hand here, a big pat on the back, or a hand raise, or a welcome in the chat, that'd be awesome.
Thank you. Could you guys see my
Mhm.
screen?
Mhm.
You can see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It's very exciting to do this. As Gary mentioned, the biggest one of the things that I really love most is collaborating with other agents. I wrote a book called The Art of Real Estate. It was one of my first real estate books, and it ended up being more for agents to help agents with their success. And I've been doing this for 35 years, so I've been doing it a little bit. And I think the more you're in it, the more you just learn through collaboration, and helping others helps you excel, and it feels good doing it. So that is why I am here today, and that's why I've been doing some podcasting, and I'm always happy to take questions long after this ends. But what the nugget that Gary was saying was, yes, I am related. DiMaggio is my maiden name. I did not take my husband's name, and I am third cousins to Joe DiMaggio. So that means I'm third cousins to Marilyn Monroe. More exciting for me. And yes, and I've written a couple books. I've written 4 books, and I'm working on my 5th book. Is called The Mindset in Motion Method. And that's for another podcast, or another coaching session. But today, I always revert, and this is in my book, Mindset for Motion. I always re-engineer how I got here. I started here, I did stuff, and then now is where I am now. I always reverse engineer and go backwards to go, how did I go from here to here? When I was doing it, I really didn't know what I was doing. Now looking back, I was like, oh, wow, I did that. And so that is where Foundation for Success comes in. I have a course, and it's actually on School, SKOOL. It's under Foundation number 4, success.co. You can find that. And I'm happy to send you this presentation, which goes back to collaboration. It doesn't matter. We're all individuals, we're all unique. It doesn't matter if I give you something that I do or have done. We're all different people. We all have an authentic way about us. So when I share, it's for everyone. So you can go to foundation number 4 success.co and you can grab that. Follow me on Instagram. Right now, I'm really about my podcast too. I switched producers, and now if you go to debbipodcast.com, there's a lot of different realtors and other business people who found success. And I'm working on growing my numbers for the first time. I started it about a year and a half ago. I just wanted to learn how to do a podcast and to speak and to just be on the fly. It's a live podcast every Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's live on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And then here's the Foundation for Success. And I'll go ahead and send this to you, Gary, so you can share it.
Okay.
So, welcome to Foundation for Success, a step-by-step program designed to help you build and grow your business from a strong, well-structured foundation. Whether you are a new business or looking to elevate your existing one, this program will guide you through the essential components every entrepreneur needs to master. Over the course of 5 focused modules, you'll learn to establish a visible online presence, nurture personal connections, maintain ongoing communication, and create platforms for long-term growth. My goal is to give you actionable strategies you can implement immediately, and that will continue to serve you for years to come. So it's not just for realtors, it's for anyone with a service, product, or brand to elevate their business. Module 1, and I also coach this. There's a lot of information in here. So if someone wanted to meet one-on-one, I can go through, probably take a couple sessions just because there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And sometimes the implementation is the difficult part, which I was talking to Gary about. And so we'll go through it. And then if you have questions, we'll answer afterwards. So getting set up on all your platforms and why it's important to connect and be seen. Social media is no longer optional. It's a critical business tool. It allows you to showcase your brand, connect with your audience, and expand your reach exponentially. I notice when I'm coaching agents, we have 80 agents within 2 offices and we're part of 29 offices. But when I'm coaching, sometimes either they could be young or they could be older. And a lot of times, which would be surprising because it seems that everyone's on social media, but oftentimes there's people who do not want to be on social media. Well, you have to be on social media because there's so many agents and there's so many people who have different products and brands. So you really have to be out there to set yourself apart and also for people to get to know you and your authentic self. So what I tell people is whether you're baby steps, if you should be on all platforms. And the reason why is we all tend to gravitate towards different social media platforms. I tend to go personally to LinkedIn to check out someone to see if they're real. So if I want to go there and see, do they have a profile on LinkedIn? It's kind of my yellow pages. A lot of people, of course, go to Instagram, and then there's Facebook and all the rest. So you need to have your contact information and everything on those platforms. So at least if maybe you're not working X, but at least if someone, that's their platform of choice, they can go to X and they can see that you are there and your contact information is, and you're a realtor, and they can cross-reference you on any of the social media tools that you like. And then eventually you might get to use all of them. So claim your profiles on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, Pinterest. Again, if you're not going to work Pinterest, have your contact information there. YouTube and TikTok. My new obsession right now is Substack. That's a whole class in its own. There's Blue Sky and Alignable. Even if you don't use them all right away, get your profile, get your name out there. Put your phone number, put your website if that's all you do. Optimize your bios with a professional photo, a clear description of what you do, and your contact links. I've seen my friends on Match.com and those sites, and you'll see photos of people on those sites. And I'm like, seriously, why are you using that photo to some of these people? So make sure your photo is legible. And it is good to use the same one across the board so you're recognizable. I know in those little pictures, I was looking for Gary so I can tag him, and I found his picture because I recognized him and I recognized that photo. So you want to be recognizable. Try to post consistently and focus on content that educates, inspires, and engages. Engage with others, like, comment, and share to build community and visibility. And direct message people. I'm very bad at that, but I'm trying to get better. So DMs are really, really important. Why it matters. The more you're seen online, the more people will recognize your name, your face, and your expertise. Visibility builds trust. Website and online presence. When your digital hub matters, why your digital hub matters. Your website is your virtual storefront. It should tell your story, showcase your offerings, and make it easy for people to connect with you. Key actions. Now, I've redone my websites, and I've have multiple websites, and I've redone them over the years because they do change and they do get better and they have better SEO. Currently, for you realtors, I'm using Luxury Presence. And if you want an introduction, let me know. We do have one at our company, but Luxury Presence really does have much better SEO. It's cleaner, it's faster. So happy to connect you. Create a clean, mobile-friendly website that reflects your brand. Include your biography. Let's stop there at biography. I want you all as an assignment to grab your bio, your recent bio, and you don't have to do it this second, but grab your bio, put it into ChatGPT, and see what comes out, because you can continue to make it even better. The last couple of days I've been in a rabbit hole with ChatGPT. ChatGPT told me to take a break, literally. So pop your bio in like you would your real estate description. Professional photos and a clear description of your services. Add a blog or resource section for fresh, valuable content. You can also take that blog and pop it over in your Google business page with a photo. There's so many things you could do to put content online. I didn't even add your Google business page. That's a whole conversation on its own. Use professional branding and consistent colors and fonts. Make sure your contact info is easy to find on every page. And also at the end of each bio, the end of each blog, I learned this from my son's girlfriend. She said at the end of each blog, even though your blog might be on your website, at the end of each blog, you should put like it's your only one, your contact information repeated, your website, how to get in touch with you. It should be a standalone blog, even though it's just a one entry on your website. Why it matters. A strong online presence makes you accessible 24/7 and positions you as a professional in your field. Number 3, personal touch points. I save all my handwritten notes. I'm obsessed with the handwritten note. Personal touch points, building deeper connections with personal gestures. In a world of automation, human touch stands out. A thoughtful note, a friendly voice, or an in-person handshake can leave a lasting impression. Send handwritten thank you notes after meetings, deals, or collaborations. And that's not just to let me get rid of this. That's not just to your client. Send it, this one here in the photo is sending it to an agent we did a deal with, and it just went great. And I wanted to let her know, thank you so much for working with me. So, you can pretty much every day probably think of someone to thank. Schedule regular coffee meetings, lunches, or networking groups. Now, it's really important to get in front of people. We can do Zoom like this because we're far away, but it's also important to set up one-on-one meetings in person. I can't emphasize that enough. And pick up the phone. Don't just text or email. Yes, texting and email is helpful in many situations, but try to pick up the phone as much as you can. Remember birthdays, anniversaries, and special milestones of clients and partners. After 35 years, I'm only now getting organized with my sphere of influence, my SOI. I just started working with a company. It's called Fusion. Happy to connect you. And they're getting me so organized. I've never had a CRM in my life. And now after 35 years, I'm getting organized. I use and then as far as cards go, I'm also in a business networking group, BNI. Love to know if anyone is on BNI, in a BNI group, but I use a service that was introduced to me by a colleague in BNI called Promptings or Send It cards. And my code is Debbi88. They are cards that you can use just their card, or you can create your own. I like to create my own card, and people get them and then they'll send me a photo with them with their card, because it's a very special card that I usually make. Whether I take photos of something from Unsplash, or if we have photos that I've had with them, I'll add them to the card and send it out. It's a really great card. Number 4, e-blasts and newsletters. I know a lot of people get hung up here because it's which service should I use? Should I use MailChimp or Constant Contact? Or I'm using Flowdesk right now, I love. So I know it could be a little daunting, just any technology. But staying on top of mind through consistent communication is important. Email marketing remains one of the most effective ways to keep in touch with your network. Key actions: build an email list from past clients, prospects, and people you meet. Create monthly or quarterly newsletters with updates, tips, and resources. Use email to share events, new offerings, or market insights. Keep your tone personal and conversational. Why it matters: regular communication keeps your name fresh and in people's minds, so when they need your services, you're the first person they think of. Community and visibility. Creating forums, meetups, events, podcasting, and presentations. Being seen as an expert in your industry happens when you show up and share your knowledge. Key actions: host small networking events or coffee meetups. So let's stop there. So I used to create these panel discussions. I would get in the community where I live, there was an art center, and I would I would do a mailing. I was doing one called downsizing, and
Mhm.
I pulled people who had been in their homes 20 years or longer to attend the event. And I brought in different panelists. So I had, at one of them, I had a feng shui expert, I had a contractor, I had a financial planner, I had a lender, and myself. And so I did had people come in, had wine and cheese, and then we had seats for them, and I had a Debbi DiMaggio notepad and pen, and I had my downsizing presentation, and then we took turns speaking and answering their questions. Afterwards, I gave them a copy of my book. Someone kept that book for years and called me when she sold her $3 million house. So, and that was a while back. So it's really important to create these networking events so you can invite the community in. You never know if they're going to need you or if they refer you on to someone else. So again, I liken real estate agents as to being a celebrity, because we're out there and our picture's out there and we're working to meet people and people to get to know us, but we don't see them all the time because they're not so visual as we are. So you need to be in a place where they can see you, touch you, feel you. That's the same thing with open houses. You need to make it easy for for you to be accessible to them. So create or join community forums related to your industry, start a podcast or be a guest on an existing one, offer presentations or workshops at local organizations or online. So just for example, one of them I was thinking of doing was, I have my SRES, my Senior Real Estate Specialist designation, and I like to help seniors with the downsizing process. So one of the things I'm doing now is starting to network with people that help seniors. And I want to start going to the senior centers to start to present and get to know people. Because if they're at the senior center, they're there for community and they're still living in their home. They haven't yet gone to an assisted living. So it's that sweet spot where you can bring other guests in to speak. I might go in with the financial planner, or I might go in with, it could be someone just to teach them how to use their phones or even teach them how to use Uber. I mean, it could be anything. You can go in, yes, you're the realtor. And of course you can talk about real estate as well, but you can also just bring other service providers in, someone who helps people age in place. You're just getting to know these people and offering your service and your guidance. And then, when they go to sell or move into an assisted living, they've met you. So you just, made some great connections just there helping them. Collaborate with other professionals to cross promote. Why it matters: the more people see you contributing and leading, the more they'll trust your expertise and refer you. So,
Hey, Deb,
yeah.
we do have a question. It's back from
Oh,
the
yeah.
slide number 2. I apologize.
Number two.
So it's yeah, yep. So it's PF Jimenez. He's up in Boston. We call him President Pedro because we hope he'll run for president one day. So, but but his question is how much personal detail do you put into the chat GPT when you're building your bio?
Oh gosh, it's so easy. I mean, if basically you could put your name out there and you can say,
Mhm.
I'm Debbi DiMaggio, first it was if you have a bio from wherever it is. Let's say you have a bio and it's about you doing something not real estate related, but now you're real estate. You can take your bio from whatever that job was and put it in and say, create a bio for me as a real estate agent. And then pop that bio in and see what it comes out with. But if are you starting from scratch? Where are you in the process so I can be more specific for this one?
Sure. We could take it as starting from scratch, and also from the perspective of, because ChatGPT is like an open book type of thing. You
Yeah.
may not want to save something about you personally that is a kind of sensitive information, like your social security number, for example. But yes, if you could flesh it out a little bit more about, like, if I was starting from scratch and I just got my ChatGPT and I'm a new agent and I am creating my bio, what do I do?
All right, perfect. So I just did this with a new team member. I said, let's talk about okay, let me go back. I was coach when we launched Highland Partners, our company, in the recession of 09. And I was meeting, and we took on a few new agents when we were just starting. And I was coaching as they would come in. And there was this one agent, and he had been in business a long time, and he was a very handsome Greek guy, but you just knew nothing about him. He always dressed nice, but it was like he was just stuck in this one way. And I said, Christos, I read your bio, but it doesn't tell me anything about you. I said, I know there's more to you than, this boring bio. And he said, well, I'm a tennis pro and I love to play tennis and I do this and that and everything else. And I go, oh my God, that's perfect. He's like, what do you mean? What does tennis have to do with real estate? I said, oh my God, everything. It's who you are. That's how you connect with people. I personally love charity work. And when I'm there, I'm resonating with those people and I'm resonating with what we do. So that's my sweet spot. But whatever it is, if you golf, if you play tennis, so tell me, what is something you like to do?
I love to garden.
Perfect. I mean, I don't garden, but a lot of people garden. And look at Martha Stewart made a fortune on gardening. So that's perfect. So you would pop in. So Sydney was, so let me go back to Christos. When he started embracing who he was, because he was out there on the tennis court. You don't have to talk about real estate, but he's there with his people. They love to play tennis. So so they have a mutual interest. And so they have likability because they're like-minded people. So that's why it's so important to express that. I'm not going to forget that you love to garden, and that's going to make people remember you. So you're going to pop in, you're going to say, and it's not going to pull your social security number, but you're going to say, I'm a newer agent. I don't want to talk about that I'm new. I want a bio. I love to garden. I love my family. I love the community in which I live, X community. And you don't have to say a whole lot because believe me, it makes this robust, nice bio. So I'm happy to help you after this. You can text me and I'm happy to work through it with you. But just today, just pop in a few things and see what will come of it, because I don't know a lot about gardening, but with the tennis, Sydney, who likes to play tennis, there's the aspects of tennis, and it really highlights those attributes of her being a tennis coach. So it will pull out stuff that will help you as a realtor. So it'll be fun. Yeah, text me and I'm happy to pull it out. But you don't need to say a whole lot. Just feed it a few things that you like.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else while we're breaking?
Okay. Yeah, let's see. Please. Camille wants to know if she can please take a screenshot of module 4.
Yes. And you know what? I am more than happy. I will send this out to Gary. But you can take yes, take a photo.
What we'll do, guys.
We got it. Thanks.
Thank you, Debbie, for doing that. We'll share it. It goes out in the email. You'll get a copy of it too. The after class world. We tag you on everything we do.
Awesome. Awesome. So
Yeah. So you'll, yep.
yeah, I'll send you a copy when we're done. And also just
Okay.
because you were interested in this screen. So I used to use years ago, and I'm obsessed with fonts and everything. And right now it's killing me that this photo went over those words. So I'm obsessed with layout and fonts and everything. So years ago, when I first started real estate, I used Constant Contact, and then I used MailChimp a little bit. I use something called Flow Desk that I love. I'm happy to send you the link to that, but I do like that because I can make it prettier. They have all different kinds of formats, but for me, I find it easy. Like if you emailed me, as soon as I get an email from someone, I pop it into Flow Desk so they're in my newsletter. But I like the way it looks aesthetically. And if you want to be on my mailing list, please feel free to email me. But Flowdesk I really like, and it's pretty. And I have other other ones I can share if you have interest in that. So Bob Berg was on the relaunch of my podcast. It was Mastering the Art of Real Estate. Now it is Mastering the Art of Success. And I reached out to Bob Berg, who's a best-selling author and a speaker, on Twitter. So this is the power of, of social media. I didn't know if he said something because he believes in that whole giver's gain and giving and receiving. And so it was early in the morning because I'm in California and I'm up very early in the morning. So that's why I love working with people on the East Coast, because I'm up at like 4. And I responded to something or said something that he wrote on Twitter, and he responded. And, I didn't know if it was someone who helps him in his marketing. And it seemed to be him. And so we went back a few times, and then that was it. And probably 6 months went by, and one of my coaches said, just who do you want to be on your podcast? And I said, I have no idea. And I was plenty busy getting other realtors and people I'd met at my real estate conferences. And then people started approaching me about being on my show. And so I said, I'm going to send him an email. I sent him an email on a Sunday. He responded right away with a yes. The reason I share this story is that you just have to ask. Whatever it is in your business, you just have to ask because you do not know the answer. Success doesn't happen overnight, but with a strong foundation, your business will have the structure and stability it needs to grow steadily over time. Implement one module at a time and watch your connections, influence, and results expand. Debbi DiMaggio for foundationforsuccess.co, the DiMaggio difference. In my one-on-one coaching, you will learn and we will implement together Foundation for Success, creating newsletters, e-blast, tested tools and platforms, fonts, brand, and color boards. Edit and update all social media across the board, platforms you might not even be on. I'll just point out one here. So I don't know how many have heard of Alignable. Alignable is a similar, I would say, to LinkedIn, but I find it's more local. I mean, it is throughout the country, but I find that people reach out and there's conversations happen, maybe because it's smaller, but it's just a really comfortable platform to network on. LinkedIn is huge, but I find Alignable to be a pretty good site. So you might check that out. Substack is a blogging platform and how to create so it's a blogging platform, and I use AI to format something. So if I write something, I can ask AI to reconfigure to format Substack. So if you like to blog I used to blog and put everything just right on my website, but then it just sits there, which is okay. But now when I put it on Substack, it's incredible. You can post it and then you can post it across all the other sites. It's very easy to read. The layout is very nice. It has a header, a subheading. They also send you graphics like the one you see right here. That was my title, From Financial Crisis to Global Freedom, How Brian Davis Built a Passive Real Estate Empire While Living Abroad. And that was created. I wrote the blog, posted it on Substack, and they immediately send you all this content for Instagram, TikTok. They send you all these assets. And it's insane. I just started obsessing about that recently. Writing a blog and distributing, and in the importance of tagging, podcasting, meet my production company and learn about all the tools to take your followers from 91 to 1.2 thousand in 2 days. I am now up to 1.7 subscribers. I've never monetized anything before because it was too complicated. I watched a YouTube video that my producer sent me, and I literally had 91 subscribers. And now today, a couple days later, I'm up to 1.7. And that's at debbipodcast.com. I'll just send this to you. This is
Debbie, you said
uh-huh.
You said DebbiPodcast.com?
Yeah, it's
okay, gotcha.
debbipodcast.com. Yeah. And so if you did want to coach with me, my 1 hour private coaching monthly, personalized homework for real progress, I give you homework and I check in with you to make sure that you've gotten it done. Ongoing accountability for $1,000 a month. And you can get in touch with me here at Debbi.DiMaggio@corcoranicon.com and my phone number. And again, I'll send this to Gary. And I thank you guys so much, and I'm open for questions.
All right. I tell you what, guys, who here would like to dig in a little bit more on the AI stuff? I mean, it's been like almost a weekly subject for us, and it's just so. Deb, I do have on the AI.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're actually a little bit more evolved than other people I meet. In other words, you're not just creating videos with AI. That's like one of the most. It's like one of the first things people do. But it sounds like you're actually using it more strategically, like in strategic planning level type stuff. Is that sound? Am I kind of on the right track there? Or?
Yeah. So I have like five chat GPTs open at one time over the last.
But that's a perfect example of why we have the experts.
What?
All right, guys.
Brian, I'm sorry, Brian, do you have a question?
So following up on that, what is the hundreds?
Sorry, it sounded like he was on the phone. Sorry.
Okay.
But go ahead, Debbie. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I'm using it for lots. So I write an article for Piedmont Living Magazine. I write one for the Piedmont Post. So I need it to be a certain words. And then just now I put in my article and it needed to be cut down by 200 words. Instead of me doing that, I popped it in ChatGPT and it cut down immediately. And then I also said, don't cut it too much, only 200 words. Sometimes it'll cut it down way. So you don't have to be that specific, but if you want to be specific on something, you do have to prompt it. It also formats. So if I write a blog, but now in the last couple of days, I've been working on Substack, I'll say, take this blog and add a high SEO title and headline, provide hashtags with commas, I think like YouTube, it's commas. I think it's both with commas, and you don't want, and then if they give.
Hi, I just want to take a moment to thank you for watching a recording of the Monday Night Live class. Hope you're getting a lot out of it. I'm sure you will. I wanted to let you know that, you can come to Monday Night Live whenever you want, but you can also participate more with the team. Why don't you set up a call with me, a one-on-one strategy call? I can go over everything with you, show you everything that we have to offer. For example, did you know that on our team, not only do you get your leads, we actually give you your own account on our lead gen system. So this puts you in control. You're not waiting on somebody to hand you leads. You get to pick the ones you want. Okay. Huge difference. We have 21 of our own proprietary marketing campaigns. They're all copyright protected. We're the only ones that can use them. Okay. The coaching is absolutely one-on-one. We got 3 coaches. We even have a 4th success coach that we have access to. Okay. One of left fewer than 100 in the world. Okay. One-on-one coaching. Right now the big problem is volume. We need more transactions. We need more inventory. I get it. Well, we know how to get it. Our team actually outproduces the national average by more than 2 to 1. So if you're struggling, don't do that anymore. If you're a solo agent, if you're a team, let's just talk. Smart entrepreneurs are always open to discussion. Learn what we have to offer, and then you can make an informed decision about staying where you are or moving on. You've got to decide, if you're not where you want to be, you've got to take action to get where you want to be. Let's see how we can help you do that. I look forward to talking to you. Click on the link.
Give you the hashtags. You say, please remove the hashtags and only separate the tags with commas. And it'll come back. And then it will say, well, do you want a shorter title or do you want a shorter, more punchier, believe me, it asks you so many questions. You're like, stop asking me questions. But, and it will format for whatever you want. Then if you want to create Instagram posts, it'll take that same Substack blog and it will create shorter Instagram posts. And then it will tell you what graphic you should use. That's one of the ways I use it. I was doing so much. What was I working on? And now I have.
While you're looking that up, well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. And then, if you want to create a logo, obviously, if you're doing your descriptions, I was on my mastermind group and someone was talking about real estate client gifts under $100. I popped it in. What are real estate gifts under $100? That was kind of a fun one. Oh, and then I was asking, I thought this was a good one. I'm in Business Networking International, and we're always looking to grow our chapter. And I was saying, I asked it, what's a good referral partner for a real estate agent? And then it came out, and there were so many ideas and so many different professions I didn't realize. One of the things I love about this sort of thing is that we're a professional to professional networking person. It's not just like trying to meet one needle in a haystack to sell one house, right? It's like we're working with other professionals that we can refer one another. So if I was to say, hey, Gary, do you have someone in Nashville? Gary would say, oh yeah, call so-and-so. So it's just a really cool way to work professionally like this. Instagram planner. Oh my gosh, you're like, what should I say? You can say, create an Instagram planner for 30 days and it will create that. So quotes, if you want quotes, TikTok ideas, monetizing whatever it is, home selling tips. One of the ways I've also loved to use it is I had an agent who there's only so many things you could do to sell a house. So I'm always rewriting the same thing. So finally, I just asked it to give me a succinct, this is one of the first ways. Tell me how to sell, how I can tell her how to sell a luxury house. It was everything I had told her, but I didn't have to rewrite it again. So that made it nice. Do you have other questions about how I use it?
Well, actually, I've got a couple different subjects. I want to go into the notes that you send, because this has come up. It came up last week in class with she's another podcast guest from Denver, from Compass Real Estate, and same thing. I mean, of all the things that she did, sending notes was at the top of the list, and also another person, Corinne, she's actually another EXP agent with us, and she actually ended up getting her own her own television program. So they hired her to be the host for one of a real estate television program, but she made a regular. It's a scheduled process for sending out notes, but they're her notes, but like she gets scheduled through her CRM or something. But when you're doing your notes, do you have a process for that? Like how you select people? Is it like you see the birthdays that come up or somebody that bought a house, in the past and it's an annual?
So I've just started working with Fusion on this CRM, but the program that I'm really loving right now is called Promptings or Send It cards. So if you haven't gotten it, you will be getting one, Gary, that I sent out through Promptings. It is so cool. You go on this, I guess I can just show you.
Is that this was a beautiful card I got. Remember I took a picture of it and sent it to you?
Oh yeah, you got it. So that's it.
That's the one. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the one. Cool. So if I had a photo with the person, I would, or if I had with friends, you have photos, you can upload photos. If like I was sending one to someone out the other, and you can choose the font you want. You write the note and you choose the font, and then you can put your business information on the back, but you can write a nice note to the person and thank them, or just, so they get something in the mail so they can, it's a follow-up, but it's so easy because it's not your messy handwriting. You can change it if you messed up, and it could be in, there's all these different fonts and it looks really cute, and you can upload free photos from Unsplash. So I did one with someone the other day and I didn't have much. Well, you can also go onto their social media and save photos. I sent one to someone where I took photos from from his Facebook page.
Yeah.
He's the one who got me into it. Yeah, yeah, and so I created it with, it was kind of a personal thing for him. And he sent me one and it was a photo I'd posted happy birthday to my daughter. And so I sent it and it was just a card with her on it. And it was just so nice. So if you see someone, you guys know each other and you see a photo that they may have posted, but it's so nice to put it in a card and send it to them. It's just, and you think I mean, I get people with cards and they hold them up with their card saying, I just got this from you. So it really makes an
Yeah.
impact. And I'll include that link in the email, Gary, and you can send everyone that as well. It's a really great
Cool.
way. And what's
Well,
nice about it, I could go back and say, oh, did I send that to Gary? And it will tell me if it went out. You can also send an email with that card as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to show you this again. So this is the outside of the card.
And that was
It's
a photo that was in my first book that I included there.
Yep, and it's super nice. This is not, guys, this is good quality material and execution. And then here's the inside, right? I'm gonna hold it up like, whoop, there we go. See? And what's really neat, there's nothing in here that's promoting send out cards, other than if you look on the envelope over where the stamp normally goes, one little spot right there, extremely professional and respectful. And I still had this, and I got this probably maybe close to a month ago, guys, and it's still on top of my desk.
Wow, you
This
got
is
it that long
how,
ago? I love it.
yeah, but that's how important notes are. I mean,
Yeah.
and I wish I could claim that I've done that in the past, and I have sent out notes in the past. I will go through phases, and then I'd kind of let it fade away. I used to use maybe it was send out cards. Um, in fact, I think it was I mean, back like 15 years ago when it first came out. But the lady who got me involved with it, we're still friends. I mean, we still communicate on a regular basis. We share vacation information, and you know,
Yeah, it
so what an
really
excellent
connects,
way to,
makes a connection. And like you said, you've had it
yeah,
on your desk for a month, and I try to make it something like that was a swimming pool because it's summer, and
yeah,
something that you might keep and remember me by, because look at all the people on this group. There's so many people. It's like, how do you set yourself apart? That's what you're trying to do.
yeah. Hey guys, any questions on the cards or the notes? I mean, there's probably several programs, but send out cards is one. I'm pretty sure that was when I was in, and there were some others, but that one was the one I thought was the most professional. They keep up with you, they'll follow up with you, make sure you're doing a good job, and if you need help, they're there for you. And it was very affordable too. It wasn't like a extremely expensive thing to do.
I mean,
And
how many times do you go, you're like, oh, I need to get a card for so and so. And then you go, and then maybe you buy a bunch of extra cards, and then you put the cards aside, and then you forget you bought the cards. So you go out and buy more cards. And then you're like writing and you make a mess up, and you're like, oh, or you're just like, I'll get to that. But when you do it on the computer and you make it look nice and send it, and you don't have to go get a stamp and put a
yeah,
stamp on, it's all done like that and done in a minute. So I try to train myself. I go through spurts. Okay, just send, a couple cards today or one a day. And sometimes I'll have 5 I'll send out, but it makes it so much easier than grabbing a piece of paper and then finding a stamp and getting to the mailbox.
absolutely, yeah. And then I'm assuming it has like all the contacts are in there, and you can
All there,
put
and
it,
I can change
yeah,
them. I can clean up the mailing list right away. If a card comes back for some reason, I can edit that right away. And then
mhm,
I sent some Mother's Day cards out, so I edited it and just took out the husband's name and sent it. And then later I'll go put back, when I send a Christmas card, I'll go put back the husband's name. But they're really great.
yep,
And you don't have to, I like to be creative and I like to have my own photos. There are just generic ones you can send, of course, too.
yeah. Um, Okay, well, guys, if you have questions, type them in because I've got another category I want to go to, and that's the doing local events. That's something that's always been near and dear to my heart. I've done small ones and ones that actually grew pretty big. And we have one of our agents, Shastina's on. There's several agents I know of here or have done events in the past. Mo Dupe has, Mo's from St. Louis and now Dallas, and Shastine's from Vancouver, Washington, and she started hers a while back. It's her husband's son and another agent, Nedamon, we call her Moni. They do it. And Shastin, if you want to chime in or ask questions, please feel free. But Deb, if you can describe like what you do locally, do you have a number of different types of events that you like to do or have tried, or is there one favorite one,
Yeah,
or
there's a
and how do you
couple.
actually get it?
Yeah, so the first one, because you can actually go there and take all my information. If you go to seniorsnextchapter.com,
Okay.
seniorsnextchapter.com, it'll take you to a page, my page. So I always create a website URL to go to point it. Like if you went to Debbie's school, skool.com, you'd go to my course, Foundation for Success on School. So you try to make it easy so you can say, I want you to attend my event. It's just go to seniorsnextchapter.com. So you can go there and you can see the people that I had as panelists. We had a workshop. And so those were the people who were at the workshop. So you want to do the you get to do the pre-marketing, then you get to have the event, and then you make sure you have a photographer, and then you can continue to market it long after. So you start the event, whether you do an invitation, well, find the place, whether you have to, if maybe you share the cost with the other service providers that are in your group. Or if it's not a cost, maybe you charge for food, or between all of you, like we did. It was in my office, so we just had everyone bring something. Someone brought coffee, someone brought some tables and chairs, someone brought some bagels, whatever it was. So, spread that over your group of people. Then you want to have someone who's going to check people in. So start a Google list right away. With Fusion, this new company I'm working with, they set up the website, they set up the sign-up sheet. So when you signed in, the names of the people went right into the spreadsheet, which I thought was genius. I'm not technical that way, so I love that piece. And all you do is need to promote it. So seniorsnextchapter.com. And I invited the providers who wanted to be in it. And then I wrote an article in 2 of the local papers. One was Piedmont Living, one was the Piedmont Post. You can also ask different people in the community or businesses if you might post it wherever. And then you want to put it on social media and invite people. And then you want to do a targeted mailing, right? So choosing, in this case, people have lived in their home 15 or 20 years. You want, or longer, you want to send a mailing to them. A lot of the older people like that hard mail, so you have to do it online, but print is also good, and then mail is also good. So then the event came, we had greeters, we had people checking in, we had pen and paper, branded pen and paper for them, we had seats for them to sit, and then we started our presentation. And I spoke about downsizing and all the things we do to help them with the downsizing process. And then we had the mortgage person and the long care term insurance. And then we had the senior placement person who helps them figure out what is the right place for them to downsize to, whether they need a certain kind of care or it's just for community. There's so many different options. So then we did the presentation, then we did a Q&A afterwards, and people, you're creating community, you're putting yourself out there visually for them to get to know you. So then they call you over time. Oh, who was that person you just become visible, right? And then we had the photographer there. So then I sent cards to all the presenters to thank them. And I sent cards to the people who attended. And so you continue to follow up, and then social media on the event afterwards. And I also had I had a presentation. So the people who couldn't attend, who reminded me that they, weren't able to attend, but they wanted the information, I was able to drop that by, and I still have that information with the list of people. So I have that resource. And then with that, I didn't want to say, oh, if you come to this, you have to sell your house. It was really informative. I also created a brochure called Aging in Place. And let's say they're not ready to move yet, but they're going to have my Aging in Place brochure, and maybe they'll think of me when it comes time to sell.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Dave he's up from Toronto area. Wants to know if you can share the school link. Was that in the presentation or
Yeah, I'll send it to you, but it's just Debbi chat. Debbi School, SKOOL.
That's it. Yeah.
Or foundation. Let me put both of them in the chat. How do we find the chat?
Okay.
I'll put both of them in there. Foundation for Success, I think it is. Chat. And this whole school thing is a whole, I mean, there's so many people monetizing on that. I haven't done that yet. Right now, everything's free for, I'm just foundation for, and that should take you there. Why isn't, what did I do wrong? Doesn't look like it's highlighting. Any other questions?
Foundation for Success. That's CEO. Okay, cool. I've seen a lot of businesses go to the school platform just in the last couple of years.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
don't know why it's not working here. Yeah,
they're
it's
they're,
there's a lot of
they're coming through in the chat. Is that
Oh,
what you're
are they?
wondering?
Okay. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know if it was coming through, if the link was coming through.
Yeah.
And then another thing I did too early on was I created, if you live in a small community, I created something, we called it, it was like a chamber of commerce, and it was in our little town of Piedmont. And basically it was just inviting all other businesses to come in and kind of, and the public to come in. We did a little wine and cheese. We got the local restaurant to donate some food. We brought some wine in, and I set it up where come in, mix and mingle. And then I had each business professional get up, and they were supposed to have 3 minutes. So I said, introduce yourself, your name, briefly say what you do. And then the third thing was give us a charity, one of your charities. But, and the reason why is when someone says, they say their name and then they say what they do, it's a little uncomfortable. But when they start talking about their charity, you cannot get them to stop. But they really you get to see their authentic self. People would want to give 3, and we're like, there's a lot of people here. We got to get through this. But it was a really nice way to bring people in and network with other professionals in the community. And that was called the Piedmont Business Network. And I created that. And this was like 30 years, no, about 25 years ago. And we had all the people on Facebook and stuff. And I was just getting to know social media at the time. But it's just another way to help to spread what you do through the community and to give back and to help others.
That's awesome. Okay, I've got one more question. I want to dominate things here, guys. If you have questions, please feel free to type them in. We have a range of people on here from like pretty new, like some of them brand new, brand spanking new, up to really seasoned veterans, 30 or more years experience. If you are coaching someone who's just starting out, and you've got this basic social media stuff, you've got AI, which helps with pretty much everything.
Yeah.
You got doing, live events, getting with being in front of people, and then the notes. And there's many more things we can do, but those things really stuck out of my mind tonight. Is there one of those that you would say, hey, do this first, and then do this second, do this third? I mean, I'm not trying to hope this doesn't put you on the spot. I just
No, not at
really
all.
like to get.
I do this all the
Okay.
time. So with my
Yep.
ages. So the first thing is you really, and I don't know why people are reluctant about this, getting their sphere of influence, maybe because they don't think those people are going to buy or sell. But you have to, first of all, people need to know where you are and what you're doing, even if you're new. So your sphere of influence, open up a Google sheet and type everyone in there that you know. Then you want the addresses, because I said handwritten notes are important. So you need their hard address. People will be like, oh, well, I don't have their address. Okay, you can literally go to Gary Wilson, pick his state, his name will come up, I guarantee it. When someone asks me a question like that, I'm like, just Google it. You can put in Debbi DiMaggio, California, I'm gonna come up. It's out there. So no excuses on the physical address, their email and their phone number. Start that right away, even while you're getting your license. Start your sphere of influence. That is that's where you start. And then as the next thing is your new agent, get out at open houses. I interviewed a guy he had already been a successful Hollywood agent. Then he went into real estate. Do you think he slacked? No, he was doing 5 open houses a week. He was doing an open house during the week. He would do one Saturday morning, one Saturday afternoon, one Sunday morning, one Sunday afternoon. He was on fire. Now, you have to be, remember I said, see it, touch it, feel it. You have to be at those open houses. So not only does a potential, meet a potential buyer, which if you get their information, you add them to your list, you will meet sellers. The seller might not be looking to sell their house today, but as they see you and you become more familiar to them, they will call you. So whether you're there on a Thursday afternoon from 5 to 7, bring your work, put you're sitting there, put your signs out. It's free. Signs don't cost, doesn't cost you anything. When people are like, oh, I don't have money, I'm a new agent. It's like signage is free. Sitting in an open house is free. Don't sit and work from your house. Take your phone and your computer and work from there. Do whatever put your Wi-Fi on your phone and work until someone comes in. You never know. It could be one person who comes in. So open houses to become visible, your SOI by all means, and taking what I learned in BNI, which again, this is new to me, working my sphere of influence in BNI, Business Networking International. Had I done BNI 30 years ago, it would have been amazing. And I didn't, because I didn't want to leave the kids. I was working and I was raising a family and I didn't want to leave early. Now, a lot of them, because of COVID, are on Zoom. So you're not leaving the house so early in the morning. Business Networking International was so good because you're there specifically to network and to help build your business and the colleagues are in your group's business. Yeah. So I am referring people. I'm the top referrer all the time because that's my nature. But it is so good because you go for, it's an hour and 15 minutes and it's very organized. You're in, you're out. You know what you're supposed to do, and you give your pitch and you hone your pitch and you change your pitch each week if you want. You don't have to, and you have a 30-second pitch to present to your other colleagues. It's a great way. So sphere of influence, open houses, and then with BNI, attending the meetings. But the other thing they talk about is only once a week do a one-on-one in person or on Zoom. Yeah. But I want to emphasize the one-on-one in person because you'll meet people on Zoom, and then if they're local enough, you really want to try to meet them in person so you remember them and they remember you.
Yeah. It's interesting. I remember when BNI was pretty new and you could they might maybe wanted $10 a month or something. Now there's BNI groups that are like $1,000 a month just to be part of that group because
oh yeah,
so powerful.
And it's hard for a realtor to get in because all the realtors' spaces are usually taken. So I started as a coach, and then when the real estate place spot opened up, I slotted myself there. But yeah, it's really invaluable.
Yeah, I always tell the agents, don't try to join as a traditional agent. Go in as either commercial or better yet, now just say, well, I just focus on small investors, so they're not competing with commercial or traditional residential, so they have a way to get in with people buying fourplexes and flipping homes. But I want to mention something to the open houses. I know an agent today. She was one of my agents 15 years ago. We've just stayed in touch. In fact, these guys probably remember her, Christine Hyatt. She taught class for us like three plus years ago. She still sits open houses today. When she feels like things are starting to slow down, she'll do open houses till she can't do anymore because she gets the buyers. And then lo and behold, guess what? Some of those buyers need to also sell. And it's totally free, you know? So
signage is free, being there is free. And a lot of agents they spend more time getting their license and then they start and they just think all of a sudden they're going to have business and they're sitting at home and waiting for the phone to ring. It's not going to ring. There's too many of us out there. So you have to be out there.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, it's just after the hour. I tell you what, I really appreciate you being here, Debbie. And guys, I'll stay on a little bit longer if you do have things related to transactions or
Thank you.
Clients, negotiating anything like that. And Debbie, you're welcome to stick around. Believe me, we've had teachers do that. I don't want to. I know it's you're probably just now thinking about taking a walk or having supper, I'm sure. So,
Or
you know,
do my mailing of my 300 letters because I'm looking for a house, targeted mailing, looking
yeah,
for a house in a neighborhood. But no, I'll stay on and listen, and I'll turn my sound off so you don't have to hear me.
sure.
But thank you guys so
So guys,
much. I really appreciate it.
oh yeah, thank you guys. Mind giving Debbie a hand, and even you can put in the chat or online, just do the hand wave there too. By the way, I forgot to mention Camille just had one of the questions. She's down in Central Florida. She's pretty new, so starting off in referral. Yeah, but
Yep.
hey guys, something that Debbie mentioned that I want to emphasize is your sphere, particularly if you're new. It's one of the biggest hurdles for new agents is to embrace the whole concept of involving your sphere, and that's your people, you know, your loved ones, your friends, neighbors, relatives, coworkers, fellow church members. And I remember the thinking in my heart was, I don't want to be like a bother to them. How many of you have felt that way? Just quick hand raise. I don't feel like I want to be exactly. And now here's the thing. Would you agree that eventually every single one of them at some point is going to buy or sell a house? It's just a mathematical certainty, just a matter of time. Who do you want to serve them? Somebody that they don't know and you don't know, or somebody like you that you know is going to really care for them and care for that transaction, big transaction in their lifetime. You got to take responsibility. Be that person in their life because they're going to have a plumber, they're going to have an electrician, they're going to have an auto mechanic. How many people go to the same auto mechanic throughout their life? Right? They go to the same dentist, they go to the same doctor, they go to get their hair cut at the same place. They go to the same person to do the taxes every year, but yet you don't want to bother them. And in biggest purchase of their life, in most cases, you're the exact person that they need. That's why you want to do these things. You're not trying to sell them every single day. You're just trying to send them a thank you card and let them know you're thinking of them. You know, give them information on their neighborhood. Just say, look, I just want to make sure you're kept up to date on what's happening in your neighborhood. That's what we mean when we say work with your sphere, you know. And believe it or not, 1 out of 10 people, they're going to love you right back. They want you to succeed. They're going to remember when they go to work and some coworker says they got transferred and they got to sell, they're going to say, you know what? You got to call Anita. You got to call Jackie. You got to call PF. You got to call Kendra because they know that you're good and they know you'll take care of them. That's why we work with our spheres. It's the most important thing. It's the number one thing. And I'm here to tell you right now, it'll be the easiest money you've ever made if you just simply take responsibility for it. Can I get an amen from any veterans out there? Yep. See the head shaking? So don't come from fear, come from contribution. How can you help that person? You know? So in any case, all right, guys, if you don't have any questions, I've got a brand new thing of yogurt I'm gonna dive into. So Debbie, years ago I was an ice cream pie eating kind of guy, and believe me, I still love those things. But you know, realized I had to switch to some healthier things, and that's why I switched to instead of blueberry pie yogurt with real blueberries in it.
Can we get a photo with everyone online so we can post it
Yes.
on social media?
Oh, thank you so much for remembering that. Yes. Yep.
And
I'll
then
take one too.
Gary also, yeah, and then you can tag us all on like Instagram story or something, or as many people as it'll take.
Okay. Let me see here. Here's that. And if you want to take, yeah, go ahead, Deb.
Yeah. And then
And guys, learn. Remember, part of learning is not just taking notes on what you're being taught academically, but actually emulating the teacher. So let's see how many of you get your phones out to take a picture that you can post on Facebook and tag all these people in the picture and see what happens to your SEO on Facebook. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Yep. It's a great way to get traction on social media. And I used to do that. I've slacked off on that, Debbie. So thank you. You're my teacher tonight.
You're welcome. And then the other thing
okay.
is we were talking earlier about that you guys might do, and I'd love to be on it too, to set up a WhatsApp with everyone, because it's an easy way to communicate back and forth very quickly. I referred 2 agents this week, just going into my mastermind, 133 of us. Does anyone have an agent in Paris? Does anyone have an agent in Santa Cruz? And I got answers right away. So you could be on the end of that referral. So it's a really, really great group and a great way to
I
communicate.
tell you what, I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, we were using Workplace for a while, and then our broker EXP switched to Slack, and we're just starting to get to learn it, get used to it. I couldn't even begin to tell you where to start. I get the messages and I do read them and respond, but we're now setting up the groups and everything. But I am on a couple of WhatsApp groups, usually with folks from used to be people I work with, like Indonesia and India and different places around the world, because it was free for them. It was 24/7. It was easy. Um, and there are other groups like for investing and things like that. What's that?
Yeah, I think it's free for us too, no?
It is. It's totally free for everybody.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it was introduced to us from people overseas because
oh,
they were usually the ones having to contact
right,
us and pay whatever fees. But now it's I think they've got the security ironed out. I mean, people used to worry about it. I never had a problem with it,
right.
quite frankly.
Yeah.
I use it, regularly
Yeah,
for the purpose. So I think we're going to do it.
Slack was too hard, but WhatsApp is just fast and done.
Yeah.
Real easy. So I did.
Okay. Hey, would you guys like to be on a WhatsApp group to get that created? I think we should. It'd be a great, like, instead of me sending out 60 some odd text over the weekend, I could just send one group message and that you guys all get it. So, okay. All right. Well, listen, guys, I appreciate you participating tonight. Next Monday is our own Gina Hansen. Remember, we still work together, but so Debbie, about 2 years ago, I was accused of picking people out of the raft and out of the nest and things like that. And I did, but in a very professional, polite way, because I wanted to help them build their own, their own vision, their own brand, their own team, their own program. And Gina was one of them. Actually, Shastine's on tonight. She was one also. So um, that's just I learned if you don't do that, life can get really comfortable when it's all good. So that's one of the worst positions to be in is good enough. You know. But in any case, guys, be on for Gina next week. She's got a great platform to show you. You don't have to pay anything for it. It's Ask Local, the app. They've built it. Remember, about 6 months ago, they perfected it, and the owner is going national, and we get to be on the front end of it. So, best place to be on something new like that is in the front. So make sure you're on next Monday night and get the app. Okay, guys. Debbie, thanks again. Let's stay in touch. I'll probably give you a jingle tomorrow, sometime if there's a break, just to say thank you and catch up. And for everybody else, I'll see you on your one-on-ones, and I'll see you Wednesday night, by the way, for the monthly team call. Please make sure you're there. There's some important stuff to go over when it comes to our Accelerate program that involves everybody on the team and in the downline. So you want to make sure you're on for that. And if you don't see anybody here that that should be here, make sure they know about Wednesday night. Okay. So
thank you, Debbie. Looking forward to the second part in December.
Thanks, Gary. Yeah. Thank you for presenting.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, you guys, take care. God bless you and all your loved ones. I'll see you either tomorrow or on Monday. Okay.
Thank you for watching this episode of Monday Night Live. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and go to realestatewithgarywilson.com to join our community and start building wealth today.